Okay. For all those who don't know, I'm back on Instagram. There's it right here. Real choke, no joke. All right. So if you ain't following me, get at your boy. Get at your boy. I'm live on YouTube, Instagram. Shout out to Coach Dawn Stiley and her WBB Gamecocks. Congratulations. Shout out to you, Dawn, and the Gamecocks. Pause. Congratulations. Hello, KB. What up? Oh, I got a first timer here. Miss Parker, Cecile, welcome. I appreciate you tapping it. You know what I mean? Please hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing, just a hit of a button. Greetings to D the Diva, Miss Wilson, if you nasty. All right, how you doing? That's South Carolina. You will have to ask the person in the chat. You will have to ask Mike Nickety. Big pause. Happy they won though. That is a big pause, right? No, you know, hateration in the dancery. So tonight, this is going to be it's going to be very interesting. Some of you may have heard this. Hey, thanks for the hearts and the kisses. Appreciate you. Love you back. Michelle. Oh, are you a long time subscriber? So what you first at now? First time at. January, what up? I seen somebody block you, January. I was going through my block list and I unblocked you. I don't know who blocked you, but you don't supposed to be on the block list. I've been going through my block list and seeing if somebody's being trigger happy. I don't know who blocked January, but don't block January. Shout out to Badlands in the building. Daily. So tonight, right? I know that there's been a lot of rumors about Kim Porter was writing a book. You know, we've been hearing that from a lot of people. You know, they said they haven't blocked me. I'm suing. Well, you make sure I'll make sure you find the right moderator to sue. um, so there's been a lot of rumors about Kim Porter was writing a book and this conspiracy to why she died. Um, no one has ever, excuse me, given proof of this. It's just been just rumor on top of rumors on top of rumors that the laptop went missing and all this other stuff. But there's never been a, a publisher that came out and said that they were shopping it there, whatever. But however, there's a good friend of Kim Porter's named Sahara Lottie, and she did an interview. And the interview is oh, let me show you a picture. Oh, it's your first time chatting, Cecile. I got you. This is the gorgeous, beautiful Kim Porter right here. And that is Sahara on her side in the picture with her. Now, for those who don't know who Kim Porter is, this is Albie Shore's ex-wife, um, as well as Quincy's mother, as well as Christian's mother, as well as the twins' mother by Diddy. Christian is by Quincy is by Albie Shore and their marriage. And then her and Diddy never got married, but they had uh, 3 kids together. A lot of y'all think that Justin is maybe her child, but Justin is Lisa's child, and that's Diddy's first child, which is the oldest, who's probably about 30 years old right now, somewhere around there. Christian's about 25, and the twins is probably about 16, 17, right? Kim has been with Diddy since the early 90s, Uptown days. Uh, all of us that's been in the industry know her for the most part. She's definitely was a socialite and a party person and to be at all the who's party and things like that, as well as, you know, Fashion Week and things like that when, she was heavy into the model and stuff, right? But Sarah's told, has spoke, and she even spoke about the night before Kim passed away, and she talks about their conversation. She talks about their text message, and she revealed some interesting things in this interview. So what I'm gonna do is, I want to play this interview, with fair use, of course, so I could comment on it and report on it. Um, I want to give a shout out to Campsite Media, Vanessa and Natalie, from Infamous this week. They conducted this interview with Sarah Lottie, right? So hold on to y'all seats for this. I'm trying not to give a spoiler alert, but this interview ends on an interesting note. when it comes to talking about Kim's death and Kim's funeral and things like that. So for all y'all that been running with the rumor that Kim was writing a book, I think that Sahara Lottie kind of dispels those rumors. And if you go to Kim's Instagram, which is still active, you will see that this is a friend of hers. They do have a relationship. And this picture is actually from Kim's Instagram, actually. And so what I want to do right now is, before I play this interview, I just want to take a few seconds out to get time for Kim Porter, for all of those that know and love her, friends, family, admirers, fans, or just people that are sympathetic that her children lost their mother. All right? Rest in peace, Kim Porter. Okay, so I'm going to play this audio. Let me put up my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teacher scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. And I will keep that up there as a reminder that I'm using this under fair use. But let's get to this interview.
Eyelash company, a very upper crust eyelash company named Lashify that you may have heard about. They're the sort of DIY lashes that all these.
Are y'all able to hear that loud and clear? Are y'all able to hear that loud and clear? I just want to do a sound check before I let it go. Okay, Tasha Rain, thank you.
Been around more currently, right? And he is saying that Diddy has hidden cameras in every room in his house. He has some secret recordings that could be like collateral or something, and making allegations about Cuba Gooding Jr. fondling him, and essentially saying that this is like an illicit criminal enterprise, that Diddy is running, the house is full of guns and sex workers, and sex trafficking is somehow creeping into this. So, while we don't have a whole story about Diddy, what we decided to do this week, in addition to just catching you up on all that, is speak with a very close friend of mine, Sahara Lottie, who runs a eyelash company, a very upper crust eyelash company named Lashify that you may have heard about. They're the sort of DIY lashes that all these celebrities wear to the Oscars or when they have photo shoots, and you can actually do them at your home as well. And oddly enough, Sahara really forged a relationship with the love of Puppy's life, who was a woman named Kim Porter, who was a model, a debutante. She's from Georgia, and she was with Puppy for many, many, many years. She's the mother of several of his children. and she unfortunately passed away very recently as well. And so we asked Sahara to talk to us about what she knows about Diddy and that relationship with Kim Porter. What did you think of her? Like your first impression?
Freaking cool. Just like incredibly cool, incredibly beautiful. She had this air of just like a queen. The way she spoke was really southern, and she was like ridiculously gorgeous, but also ridiculously hilarious, and she was really down to earth.
So she's from
Yeah.
Georgia, and she was a model and a debutante.
Yeah, she was.
Right. So she had an acting career.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was more of a model than she was an actress. She also loved to sing. She was working for Andre Harrell or something, and then met him during that time.
And so, what did she tell you about Diddy, who, when they were together, was called Puffy?
I mean, she always referred to him as Puffy. She obviously had kids with him, and just so you know, this is the first time I'm talking about something like this in public. Her daughters are brave, and her sons, Quincy and Christian, are awesome. But you know, there's a lot out there right now. It was hard. It was really hard, but at the same time, they were very, very good friends. He relied on her. She used to come over like all the time on her way over the hill because she lived in the valley and I lived on the hill, so she would stop by. And anytime she was over, whether it be an hour or 5 hours, like he was blowing up the phone the whole time. And it took a couple of years for me to understand the dynamic.
So they're not together though at this point.
They're not together, but it was almost like they were together, if that makes sense. Like they weren't together, but like every Christmas was her and the kids on a yacht, him, nobody else is allowed to come. Every Thanksgiving, she'd be cooking. So it was very family. Family was really, really important to her. And she really tried to keep it together, but I didn't like the dynamic of what I was seeing. Like I knew that it was causing her pain, basically.
So did you talk to her about it?
Oh yeah, we talk about it all the time. See, well, Kim was very generally a private person, but we just became really fast friends, and we connected. She was also really deep, spiritual, had like a deep belief in God, and knew that she could trust me essentially. And she was like almost stuck with him. Like if she was seeing somebody and he got a whiff of that, somehow she wouldn't be seeing that person anymore. And it wasn't based on something she did. It was based on something he would do.
Like what? What do you mean by that? Like somehow call the person?
Yeah, she was seeing this basketball player for a while. And then the basketball player was seeing another singer. And the singer said, hey, let's be exclusive. And he said, no, I'm seeing someone else. And she said, who? And he said, Kim Porter. The singer went to Puff, and then next thing you know, the basketball player never called again. But she helped him a lot. He would use her as like a sounding board, almost like his rock in a weird way. But on one hand, you could tell she couldn't stand him. And on the other hand, she loved him. But she basically said to me, he's changed. She's not the same person that he used to be.
Because they were together from like the mid-90s till like 2007.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, but he pulled a lot of shit. Like when they were together, when she thought everything was amazing, next thing you know, the whole Jennifer Lopez thing comes out. And then the whole time he's with Kim, it's like from the outside, he was showing something different. And then when she got pregnant with the twins, he ended up getting another woman pregnant at the same time. And that was when she finally was like, later, dude. From what I knew, it was a very toxic, crazy relationship in the 90s, and she got away from that, but she couldn't quite get away from. To be honest with you, a lot of stuff after she transitioned, a lot of stuff came to light. It almost, I feel like she was kind of hiding in a way.
You mean transition to after she died?
Yeah, and you know, a lot of stuff came, because I remember once we went shopping, and it was like a YSL jacket or something, and I was like, oh yeah, you should get that, and she's like, no, I can't get that. And I was like, why? Just have Puff buy it for you. And she looks at me, she goes, it does not work like And I was like, what do you mean? And then I realized, like, in order to get anything out of him, she had to, like, do something in return, whether it was spend time with him or whatever. It's like he was what looked like generous from the outside, but in reality not.
Didn't you come over to your house or something and say, like, oh, you're into this
Yeah,
spiritual shit?
He was supposed to come over on a Sunday, and then he flaked out. And she was like, no, I want you to hang out with Sahara, and he, like, couldn't. He, like, didn't do it. Now that I, see all of it, it all makes sense.
Why?
Because he was a bad dude, he was a bad dude. And the thing is that Kim was ride or die for him. I was like, yo, just leave. Like, he offered her $1 million once. Like, he could feel that she was disconnecting from him. And he, like, called her, like, crying, hysterical, please, I can't, don't, Kim, I'll give you $1 million. I'll give you $1 million. And then when she said that to me, I was like, all right, I'm going to get you an attorney. Let's get an attorney. Let's get this signed up. And she was like, no. She never, but she should have just gotten that money. But she never did. When I tell you she was so ride or die, like, there's, like, rumors on the internet saying that Kim Porter was writing a book. She wasn't writing a book. Vanessa, she was, like, loyal to the bone. Like, she was not that kind of person. She wasn't writing a book about Puff. If she was going to write a book, she would have written a book 500 years ago and not dealt with his ass. You know what I mean? She was never, ever in a million years going to write a book about him.
Right.
But she wanted to keep it together for her.
What do y'all think so far? I'm not done yet. Now, what I can say is, what I believe is the aggressive part. Him not allowing her to talk to nobody else part. Because we heard about the Kid Cudi situation. I told y'all about my situation with me and Kim Porter, and my man wouldn't let me talk to her for now I know this situation, right? So even from my own experience, kind of being in the industry, it's been said it was a known fact that if you mess with her, even though you see Puff over here with Jennifer Lopez or with Cassie, that if you get with her, you're gonna have a problem with this nigga.
I've always struggled. All that for me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app. Rocket Money can help me cancel it with just a few taps. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $750 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/business. That's rocketmoney.com/business. rocketmoney.com/business.
Such a clutch pickup, Dave. I was worried we'd bring back the same team. I meant those blockouts motorized.
We'll never get in here.
This is infamous from Campsite Media.
What about all this? We'll never get in here.
This is infamous from Campsite Media.
What about all this crazy sex stuff? though? Did she tell you that there was like evil stuff going on with sex at his house? Did you?
Yeah, I had a sense of it. I knew that she had like some weird suspicions. For example, the Cassie thing, because Cassie is who he was claiming on the outside. But when I would see how he would like blow her phone up all day long, I was like, I'm so confused because I'm seeing what's really happening. And I said to her, like, what's up with this Cassie chick? Like, do you like hate her or what? And she was like, no, no. And I was like, what do you mean? And she finally looks at me, she goes, I feel sorry for her. I said, why? And she looks at me and she goes, no, man, better her than me. And I didn't understand what that meant until I read the lawsuit. Like I said, she was, on one hand, I think she couldn't stand him. She told me she didn't like his scent. But on the other hand, she loved him. But she said he's not the same person he used to be. So, like, he changed. And so it's really hard when you fall in love with someone and they're like your person, and then all of a sudden that person switches on you. You don't really know what to do. But there was a lot of pain inside of her from all the things that he did. It's not like you have this partner that like treats you like shit and then you move on. It's like you have this partner that treats you like shit and won't let you move on. Like there was not a chance in the world that she was going to be able to get married, be with another man. It's just not a chance in the world. Like it was never going to happen. So I was under the impression like, oh, okay, you must be giving her a ton of money. And then when I realized that like half of the jewels that she had weren't bought by him. Kim was she was a lady. Like I said, she was old fashioned, Southern, cook breakfast in the morning, feed the kid, and I didn't like that he would almost like booty call her. And I knew she didn't want to be with his ass. Like you booty call her and it's like, and if she didn't show up, like the lights were not going to be on the next day.
Tell me about the experience of reading the Cassie lawsuit, reading that online. Like, what did you see in there? What did you read? And like, how did you feel when you read it?
It made sense. It all made sense. It's almost like she was like his light side. Does that make sense? Like she was
Kim, you mean?
Yeah, she was the light, right? Family, and she was keeping everything together and making. She was keeping it together, which is why he imploded, right? It all made sense because he broke her down.
You mean Kim?
Oh yeah.
He broke Kim down.
Oh
yeah. And so you see in the lawsuit that he's breaking down Cassie,
oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He won't really let her career happen.
No.
He's allegedly forcing her to have sex in these freak offs.
Yeah, I can tell you Kim. I can tell you Kim was not doing that shit because I do know that she told me this story about once when they got into it, like he tried to kick her ass and she like fought back and like stabbed him or some shit. Kim would like go to town on you. Like Kim was strong as hell, but he messed with her spirit. He messed with her heart. I remember once we were listening to song.
We know what that incident was, right? They was fighting and she stabbed him. We know that, right? But nobody called the police.
It's just not a chance in the world. Like it was never going to happen. So I was under the impression like, oh, okay, you must be giving her a ton of money. And then when I realized that like half of the jewels that she had weren't bought by him. Kim was she was a lady. Like I said, she was old fashioned, Southern, cook breakfast in the morning, feed the kid, and I didn't like that you would almost like booty call her. And I knew she didn't want to be with his ass. Like you booty call her and it's like, and if she didn't show up, like the lights were not going to be on the next day.
Tell me about the experience of reading the Cassie lawsuit, reading that online. Like, what did you see in there? What did you read? And like, how did you feel when you read it?
It made sense. It all made sense. It's almost like she was like his light side. Does that make sense? Like she was
Kim, you mean?
Yeah, she was the light, right? Family, and she was keeping everything together and making. She was keeping it together, which is why he imploded, right? It all made sense because he broke her down.
You mean Kim?
Oh yeah.
He broke Kim down.
Oh,
yeah. And so you see in the lawsuit that he's breaking down
Yeah.
Cassie,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
He won't really let her career happen.
No.
He's allegedly forcing her to have sex, so these freak offs.
Yeah, I can tell you Kim. I can tell you Kim was not doing that shit because I do know that she told me this story about once when they got into it, like he tried to kick her ass and she like fought back and like stabbed him or some shit. Kim would like go to town on me. Like Kim was strong as hell, but he messed with her spirit. He messed with her heart. I remember once we were listening to a song by Ernestine Anderson, and it was called "Don't Touch Me."
Don't touch me. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me.
And it's about how a man cheats. And one of the lyrics is like, I'll never be your spare or something.
I will be your one and only, but I sure won't be your spare.
And like, you could tell she had like tears in her eyes. Like that the pain was right there. The pain was like really active. Honestly, that's all we talked about was that dynamic. Like I almost felt like I was broadening her life to try to get her away from him. And I tried. And I believe me when I tell you I tried. He was just stealing her life.
And so basically she died of a completely strange freak thing. Like what happened?
She and I were supposed to go to Palm Springs. And then she calls me that day. She's like, I can't go. I'm like, why? She's like, Puff called. Like, he wants me to go to the Turks and Caicos. And she's like, I gotta go. And I was like, okay. And she went. And I remember seeing a photo from one of his other, let's say, women in the same place, like 2 days before. And I was just like, so, ugh. But I didn't say anything. She sent me a couple message photos, etc. of her there. It looked beautiful. She came back and she was like, oh my God, it was the best trip ever. And like everyone's saying how like Pop is doing so well and he's like in such a better place. Because it was all about what kind of place is Pop in. Like, is he in the light or is he in the dark? Like that was basically like the constant, like, oh yeah, he's back to normal, he's back to himself. But what was weird is that something about her was kind of off. Like, so he's good, but suddenly she's not. You know?
Right.
And then it was his 50th birthday, and we were supposed to go to the party together. And she had like called me 3 times, being like, "You're coming, right? You're coming, right?" Because at the time I was like doing Lashify, I was super busy, I was antisocial, and I'm like, "I'm coming, I'm coming." Mm-hmm. And then the day of the party, she never called me, and I was like, "That's weird." And then I called her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you know, the girls came in town," and I was like, "Okay." So that's kind of weird. And then I remember seeing pictures of her at the party, and I'm like, "Oh, this doesn't even look like her. Something's weird." And then a few days later, she's really sick. And she's like, "Oh man, I have this like crazy flu." And I called her. I'm like, "What's up?" And I remember she was like, "I'm so sick." And that's how she sounded on the phone. And I was like, "Kim, how do you sound like that?"
Yeah.
Like this was somebody that she was like, her voice had melody. She's like, "Hey, hey, hey," and like she sounded like this like, guttural, weird sound. And I was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And so then I remember I texted her, I don't know, the next day, and I'm like, "Kim, are you okay?" And she goes, "Kimberly down."
Now, for me, this is where it get more on the spiritual level. If you listen into everything she's saying, right? When she said they went to Turks and Caicos, it was all about Puff. You know, if he's with the light or he's with the dark. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and break all that shit down. If you ain't got the intelligence to understand what she's saying and without saying it and saying it, even though she's saying it, it might be flying over a lot of people's heads tonight, right? I understand what she's saying on a spiritual level, and there's a spiritual thing going on especially when he's like, yo, it was all about Puff to see if he was the light or the dark, right? Then what she said, he ain't the person that he used to be. That shit comes from the satanic side of the industry. Motherfuckers that sell their soul and they get in there and they dealing with the Baphomet and all that shit, and people thinking it ain't real, and you start playing with them demons, and they start becoming of you, and you of them, and shit. Motherfuckers see that shit, and people know that this type of thing exists, even though other people don't. So she said a lot of deep shit here. Even said when she called Kim, and Kim is now talking to her like different, right? So it ain't no telling what took place in Turks and Caicos. It could have been some ritualistic shit that went on out there, right? And as you said, she didn't want to name drop, but she said when Kim went out there, she checking Puff's Instagram and she seeing or his side chick or one of his other chicks, I don't know, could have been Cassie, could have been anybody, right? But she said if it was Cassie, I think she would have said that. But she seen one of his other chicks out there and she going out there and she like, huh? Then when she come back, she's sick. She ain't being attentive to her friend. She invited her wife to get to, check in with her, right? Now here's the interesting thing. She said when she saw Kim at the 50th, Paul's 50th birthday party, that she didn't look like herself, right? Which made me, an investigative choke, go looking for the pictures from Puff's 50th birthday party. I can't find one picture of Kim at that party, y'all. I can't find one picture of this girl at that party. Now I looked on my phone. Let me see something. Diddy 50th. Look, Diddy 50th. There go Christian. Who is that? Is that her?
Shout out to Choke No Joke.
That's Kelly Rowland. I ain't know who the hell that is. No pictures of Kim. Even if I put Diddy's 50th birthday party, Kim Porter. There's this picture. This is the 50th birthday party right here. Over here. But I don't see no pictures of Kim. Wait, Kim was gone already? What happened? All right, well, let me get back to the interview. Hold on. I don't see no pictures of her at Diddy's 50th birthday party, which is kind of weird.
A couple message photos, etc. of her there. It looked beautiful. She came back and she's like, oh my God, it was the best trip ever. And like everyone's saying how like Pop is doing so well and he's like in such a better place. Because it was all about what kind of place is Pop in. Like, is he in the light or is he in the dark? Like that was basically like the constant, like, oh yeah, he's back to normal, he's back to himself. But what was weird is that something about her was kind of off. Like, so he's good, but suddenly she's not. You know?
Right.
And then it was his 50th birthday, and we were supposed to go to the party together. And she had like called me 3 times, being like, "You're coming, right? You're coming, right?" Because at the time I was like doing Lashify, I was super busy, I was antisocial, and I'm like, "I'm coming, I'm coming." Mm-hmm. And then the day of the party, she never called me, and I was like, "That's weird." And then I called her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you know, the girls came in town," and I was like, "Okay." So that's kind of weird. And then I remember seeing pictures of her at the party, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't even look like her. Something's weird. And then a few days later, she's really sick. And she's like, oh man, I have this like crazy flu. And I called her, I'm like, what's up? And I remember she was like, I'm so sick. And that's how she sounded on the phone. And I was like, Kim, how do you sound like that?
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't somebody who, you know, she was like, she's like, hey, hey, hey. And like, she sounded like this like guttural, weird sound. And I was like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And so then I remember I texted her, I don't know, the next day, and I'm like, Kim, are you okay? And she goes, Kimberly down, is what she wrote in the text message.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then the next day she was gone.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
seriously?
Whoa. So, honestly, I mean, Vanessa, what I thought it was like, this is like a spiritual death. Like, some shit went down. Like, I felt like whatever weird shit was in him would.
If you on Kim died in 2018, Diddy 50th was 2019. There's something ain't right about her story. Yeah, Kim wasn't like her. That's why I'm like, I don't see no pictures of her. Wait a minute, where is Oh, let me grab my other phone real quick. I'm gonna look at Kim's, cause her Instagram is still up. What is her Instagram? I think it's Lady KP. Yeah, still remember this one. November. Oh, she might have said his 50th. She probably thought it was his 50th, but it wasn't his 50th. But she right, because Kim had wished Puff a happy birthday. Like 2 weeks before he passed away. I mean, she passed away. Happy birthday, Diddy. On this day, a genius was born. May you continue to be the driving force of energy that God, she capitalized energy in God, created you to be. Thank you for giving me the best gifts of life, our children. And he responded, love you, thank you. Then she posted this picture here, and with all the kids, except for Quincy, Quincy and his kid. And that was her last post right there. And that was on November 6th. This is one of the pictures, last pictures on Instagram. But there's no, she ain't posting from Turks and Caicos. All right, well, let's get back into this interview. Because the one thing I want to say is, to me, it sounds like she's trying to say she. I ain't gonna say that she's trying to say. What I get from what she's saying is, spiritually, they went on a trip somewhere. Something happened on that trip, allegedly, that transferred energies between Puff and Kim. And it could, let's just say, for the sake of not making it all complicated, let's say she was a blood sacrifice, right? Where they probably went and allegedly did some ritualistic shit, and she gave her soul or what was left to him to make him stronger. You ever seen it like in the cartoons or like a Marvel movie? Somebody will pass their energy on to the other person, or you see in these damn, what's a good movie? It's kind of like, I can't think of it. Was a movie on the tip of my tongue, where whatever was the source needed the people to bring more people to them and take their energy for them to continue to live, to be strong. Kind of like a vampire, more or less. It's kind of like a vampire, more. Like you suck the blood out of them, they die, and you get strong, you got more energy, type of thing.
And she's like, I gotta go. And I was like, okay. And she went. And I remember seeing a photo from one of his other, let's say, women in the same place, like 2 days before. And I was just like, I was just like, so, ugh. But I didn't say anything. She sent me a couple message photos, etc. of her there. It looked beautiful. She came back and she was like, oh my God, it was the best trip ever. And like everyone's saying how like Puff is doing so well and he's like in such a better place. Because it was all about what kind of place is Puff in. Like, is he in the light or is he in the dark? Like that was basically like the constant, like, oh yeah, he's back to normal, he's back to himself. But what was weird is that something about her was kind of off. Like, so he's good, but suddenly she's not. You know?
Right.
And then it was his 50th birthday, and we were supposed to go to the party together. And she had like called me 3 times, being like, "You're coming, right? You're coming, right?" Because at the time I was like doing Lashify, I was super busy, I was antisocial, and I'm like, "I'm coming, I'm coming." Mm-hmm. And then the day of the party, she never called me, and I was like, "That's weird." And then I called her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you know, the girls came in town," and I was like, "Okay." So that's kind of weird. And then I remember seeing pictures of her at the party, and I'm like, "Yo, this doesn't even look like her. Something's weird." And then a few days later, she's really sick. And she's like, "Oh man,
Oh, now this is Diddy's 49th party. shit, here you go. Where was this at? Williamsburg in West Hollywood. Let's see if Kim is in this picture. I mean, this video. You got Wiz Khalifa partying. You got LeBron James, LL. All these people should be nervous right now. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I'm trying to see if Kim Porter's in this crowd. Diddy's 49th birthday party. Damn, Nipsey was alive then. Nipsey, Usher, Kourtney Kardashian, Anthony Anderson, Janelle Monáe, Mary J. Blige, Tracy Ellis Ross. Oh, y'all better be ready for these party pictures. Snoop, Arthur Pippen, there go Diddy. They ain't get no good picture of him. Came to see who he got in the car. Okay, now I know where the party is at. Let's see. Diddy, 49th birthday. Okay, yeah. We got action. No choke. Do some good investigative journalism. Okay, Rick Ross, Wiz Khalifa, and Snoop. Janelle Monáe, Usher, and somebody hiding. Okay. Let's see here. I don't see no Kim Porter. Who is this? Carucci. Where is Kim? There's no way they ain't got no pictures of her at this party, man. Damn, I don't know. I'll find it another day. Because I'm curious to what she was looking like, according to what she's.
She and I were supposed to go to Palm Springs, and then she calls me that day. She's like, I can't go. I'm like, why? She's like, Puff called. Like, he wants me to go to the Turks and Caicos. And she's like, I gotta go. And I was like, okay. And she went, and I remember seeing a photo from one of his other, let's say, women in the same place, like 2 days before. And I was just like, yeah, I was just like, so, ugh. But I didn't say anything. She sent me a couple message photos, etc. of her there. It looked beautiful. She came back and she was like, oh my God, it was the best trip ever. And like everyone's saying how like Puff is doing so well and he's like in such a better place. Because it was all about what kind of place is Puff in. Like, is he in the light or is he in the dark? Like that was basically like the constant, like, oh yeah, he's back to normal, he's back to himself. But what was weird is that something about her was kind of off. Like, so he's good, but suddenly she's not, you know?
Right.
And then it was his 50th birthday, and we were supposed to go to the party together. And she had like called me 3 times, being like, "You're coming, right? You're coming, right?" Because at the time I was like doing Lashify, I was super busy, I was antisocial, and I'm like, "I'm coming, I'm coming." Mm-hmm. And then the day of the party, she never called me, and I was like, "That's weird." And then I called her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you know, the girls came in town," and I was like, "Okay." So that's kind of weird. And then I remember seeing pictures of her at the party, and I'm like, "Yo, this doesn't even look like her. Something's weird." And then a few days later, she's really sick. And she's like, "Oh man, I have this like crazy flu." And I called her, I'm like, "What's up?" And I remember she was like, "I'm so sick." And that's how she sounded on the phone. And I was like, "Kim, how do you sound like that?"
Yeah.
Like, this was somebody who would be like, she was like, her voice had melody. She'd be like, "Hey, hey, hey." And like, she sounded like this like guttural, weird sound. And I was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And so then I remember I texted her, I don't know, the next day, and I'm like, "Kim, are you okay?" And she goes, "Kimberly down," is what she wrote in a text message.
Yeah.
It looked weird. And then the next day she was gone.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
seriously? Whoa.
So, honestly, I mean, Vanessa, what I thought it was like, this is like a spiritual death. Like, some shit went down. Like, I felt like whatever weird shit was in him was in her. I mean, I'm telling you, his energy was so freaking dark during like the funeral and all that. He didn't say a word. On the day of her death, I went over there with her niece, and his security guards wouldn't let us in.
Wow.
They wouldn't let us. And then the security guard eventually the next day like apologized and whatever to me. But I was like, it was her house. And all of a sudden you realize it's actually not her house. Does that make sense? Like, it was like he had her whole life on lock. And then for the services in Columbus, Georgia, one of her family members calls me like hysterical because they don't have the money to fly to the funeral, and he won't pay for them. So I ended up paying for them. I ended up paying for them because he wouldn't pay. And after that, I was like, "Oh, fuck that. You're a piece of shit." And that's when I was like, what kind of man doesn't pay for the family of your supposed love of your life soulmate? That was the first time ever he actually put it out there that this was the love of my life. That part was true. That was the love of his life.
You mean after she died?
Like, he turned it into like the biggest PR thing of all time, but it's the first time he said, no, this is the love of my life.
Yeah, like he said, I don't know what I'm gonna do without
Yeah.
you, baby. I miss you so much. We were more than best friends. We were more than soulmates. We were some other shit, and I miss you so much. Super black love.
Whatever, man, whatever. He completely disrespected that black woman. I remember once I asked him, I was like, you think he killed Tupac? She's like, no way. No way. She goes, Sahara, trust me, no way. And I'm like, you sure about that? She was ride or die for him. She was ride or die for him. Even though she like kind of hated his guts too. I remember like they were supposed to go to like it was the Christmas holiday, and that Christina chick that was his right hand, she was like, what's going on with the flights? What's going on with this? And like Christina's like, oh yeah, we're not sure yet. And she like went crazy on Christina. She's like, I don't know what the fuck you think you are. You gotta tell that easy. Like basically it's like the Christmas holidays. It's like, get your shit together, bro. And the thing is from her end, she kept saying to me, he can't stop partying. She said to me, the issue is he doesn't want to grow up, and it's like about the party, the lifestyle, the party.
Right.
And I think that that's what she thought, is that it was about the party and the lifestyle. But it was much deeper and darker than just the party. While she thought it was like, yeah, you know, let's drink, De Leon, Ciroc, whatever. It was a lot more twisted.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing that shit in front of her. Hell to the no. Like, no way.
This is Infamous from Campside Media.
So what happened at her funeral?
It was a real blur. I got really weirded out because it was kind of like a popularity contest. She had a lot of really bad friends that were sort of just like hanger-oners that did nothing for her, and they all just wanted to get into the puppy party, right? She had a lot of user friends that you'd go to dinner with these girls, and like the bill would come, and they'd be like, and then it was like me and Kim would be splitting it. They'd be like ordering up a storm, and then me and Kim would be splitting it. Like they expected her to pay for everything. And
Y'all know them, those type of girls, right? Y'all know those type of girls, y'all know those type of girls, y'all know those type of girls. I hate those type of chicks, boy. Oh my God. Those type of chicks. The type of chicks, everybody go out, yo, let's go out to eat. Everybody go sit down. This motherfucker ordering. Yeah, let me get another drink. You want another drink? Yeah, let's get another drink. Then the motherfucking bill come, and these motherfuckers go, I gotta use the bathroom. I left my credit card at this, that, and the other. Oh, let's split the bill. I ain't splitting shit. I'm paying for what the fuck I ate. I'm not splitting a motherfucking thing. Everybody came in here. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 of us at the table. I'm telling the waiter, yo, you take my order, put my shit on a separate bill. All right? I'm paying for what the fuck I ate and what I drank. I'm not paying shipping in because you wanted an extra drink and you wanted some mashed potatoes and you wanted a sirloin steak and you wanted some extra gravy. No, I'm paying for my shit. Well, I could go out with anybody. I'm always telling the goddamn the waiter, yo, put my shit on a separate tab. Cause if my food costs $50, I'm not walking out the restaurant spending $150 to chip in for a bunch of other motherfuckers to eat where they done ate more than I did. I done spent more money splitting the check than I spent on my own fucking food. No, I'm not doing that. Nah, sorry. Sorry. Call me cheap, but you won't call me stupid. So I can see these bum ass industry chicks thinking, oh, cause she with Diddy, that, you know, they go go out and eat well and they ain't gotta contribute.
They were supposed to go to, like it was the Christmas holiday, and that Christina chick that was his right hand, she was like, what's going on with the flights? What's going on with this? And like, Christina's like, oh yeah, we're not sure yet. And she like went crazy on Christina. She's like, I don't know what the fuck you think you are. You guys down at me. Like, basically, it's like the Christmas holidays. It's like, get your shit together, bro. And the thing is from her end, she kept saying to me, he can't stop partying. She said to me, the issue is he doesn't want to grow up. And it's like about the party, the lifestyle, the party.
Right.
And I think that that's what she thought, is that it was about the party and the lifestyle. But it was much deeper and darker than just the party. While she thought it was like, yeah, you know, let's drink, De Leon, Ciroc, whatever. It was a lot more twisted.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing that shit in front of her. Hell to the no. Like, no way.
So what happened at her funeral?
It was a real blur. I got really weirded out because it was kind of like a popularity contest. She had a lot of really bad friends that were sort of just like hanger oners that did nothing for her, and they all just wanted to get into the puppy party, right? She had a lot of user friends that you'd go to dinner with these girls, and like the bill would come, and they'd be like, and then it was like me and Kim would be splitting it. They'd be like ordering up the storm, and then me and Kim would be splitting it. Like they expected her to pay for everything. And the funeral grossed me out in a lot of ways. Like some lady from Real Housewives was sitting in the front row. The whole thing was like so bizarre. And then it was an open casket. And when you looked at her, man, it did not look like her. And I remember one of her friend's moms was standing next to me and we're looking at the casket, and she looked at me, she goes, that ain't Kim. And I was like, that ain't Kim. It was really dark.
Her life force.
Yeah. I'm telling you, some weird, and like I know there's rumors of like, oh, he killed her. I don't see why he would. Unless he has some life insurance, I don't see why he would. I don't think so. But at the same time, I hate to say this, but like when she passed, man, I felt relief for her. I felt relief.
Because she was away from him.
She was away from him. And she could kind of like guide her daughters. Her daughters like spitting images of her. And like they have her fire, they're Sagittariuses, they don't give a fuck. I think they know who did that. When Kim's mom passed, like she was so devastated when her mom passed that it's like that was her life force, if that makes sense. And when her mom passed, she got really depressed. That was like her way of dealing with the craziness of him. I think he brought a lot of darkness, blackness into her life.
And so how do you see what's happening to him now? I mean, I assume you think his life fell apart after.
I think it's karma.
After she passed away, because he was sort of, whether he was in that relationship for control, I mean, it was a grounding.
It was grounding. It was
right?
But then I heard that like literally like after the funeral services, whatever, same shit. A mutual friend of ours was there, and like he was just like popping like X pills, like Tic Tac, and it was just all about partying. And then I remember always feeling like he didn't have a lot of money. Like I can't explain it. I know when you got a lot of money, you act a little differently.
He does have a lot of money though. No?
Well, according to Newsweek, he has $100 million in mortgage loans.
Oh, right.
Right?
Okay.
And so that was the sense that I got.
Right.
You know, as a business person,
Right.
I was like, I'm not so sure you like, and then he was like suing one of those companies, and it was like for a stupid amount of money, and I was like, no, this, no, this doesn't. I'm telling you, he just didn't. I don't know how somebody that can be that obsessed with partying and like hedonism, you're not killing it. You don't have time to sit around and make money. What's crazy is that Kim died on November 15th, I think it was. And that day, we all went to Kate's house, and Kate's also a really good friend of hers, and everybody was there. Her daughters were there, her sons were there, a lot of her friends were there, and I remember looking at one of them going, some shit's about to go down. I could feel it, I could feel it, I could feel it. And the next day, the Cassie thing dropped.
Whoa, are you serious?
The next day.
Like just now?
Yeah, no, the Cassie was in November, right?
Oh my God.
Right, November. And the next day, the Cassie
Yeah.
dropped.
And so Cassie, I mean, basically what happened is she was obviously negotiating with him, right? For like a large amount of money in a lawsuit for the years of abuse that she had allegedly suffered by him.
What amount of money is enough? You know, what amount of money is enough for that? Yeah.
Well, no, but then she put it in the paper because he was obviously not going to settle with her. But Cassie putting it in the paper, even if she settled afterwards, basically started this whole ball. Yes, because it just let everybody know.
Yep.
You know.
So basically what she did, she came in, she sued his ass. The lawsuit is public. Everybody gets to see. Everybody now knows what a freak off is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next day he's trying to make it go away, so he pays her. But I do want to tell you that like no way was Kim having freak offs. Like no way. And so it all kind of makes me though in a little bit, because you know how like the narcissist has like the woman that's like the one that makes him feel pure and clean. So I think that's what Kim was. Kim was like the front, the face, like basically telling him that he wasn't all pure evil.
You mean the way narcissists, like they work a bunch of different girls, but they have the one like wifey girl?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The one that's like the good one, the one that's like, even though they weren't together, but they were together. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, it was like she had a husband. I'm telling you, if she came over to my house 50 times, 50 of those 50 times her phone was blowing up. And it was him. This was constantly. But she had to play the game. He'd broken her down so much that if she didn't, she honestly felt like she was going to be destitute. Because that's how much he had broken her down.
That's that for that. I don't know if everything is falls in line with 100% one story, but a lot of it, I believe, like a whole lot of it, I believe, from my experiences and knowing, like in the industry and seeing them out and around, and I mean, you can clearly, anybody that follows his story knows that Kim has always been in his life. You know what I'm saying? You will see them together and you like, oh damn, ain't Cassie his girlfriend? Or like, ain't Jennifer Lopez's girlfriend? But I think that Kim was the chick that she's like a hustler's wife. You know what I'm saying? She gonna ride or die with you. She gonna play her position when she know her role, and she gonna stay in her lane. As long as she don't feel disrespected, this, that, and the other, you don't bring in no drama. You know, if this is what you need to do to be a star, this is what you need to do to get to the next level. This is what you got to do for your job. All right, baby, do that, but don't woo 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? I believe that she was that type of chick, a ride or die, and it was like, it's like that Mo Kiss Steph song. Y'all remember that song, Mo Kiss Steph? It's the he's mine. He's mine. You might have him. You might have him tonight, but I got him all the time. Some shit like that. Let me see. Let me pull up the lyrics to that song. He might be doing you, but he's thinking about me. So baby, think about another lover and go find another brother. I know he's mine. He's all mine. He's all in my hands. Where's the hook at? All right, go to the hook. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. You can't sleep at night. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. Don't try to dry your eyes. He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time. I got him all the time. That could be the mentality of certain women, like a hustler's wife. They don't give a fuck if he out there messing around. Nigga, don't come home with no babies. But this is home base. There's a lot of situations like that. But that's when she said he was out when he had the twins and he had got that other girl pregnant at the same time, Chance mother or whatever. And then that's when she said Kim was out. So a lot of what she said is it adds up to me. You know what I'm saying? But I got Christian's lawsuit. Let me see, where is it? Rest in peace, Kim Porter. Okay. Okay. Grace O'Markey, the plaintiff suing Christian Combs, Sean Combs, John and Jay Doe's 1 to 10, and ABC Corporation's 1 to 10. Now, this is from that same lawyer, y'all. Tyrone Blackburn. The complaint for damages with assault, battery, sexual assault, premise liability, aiding and abetting, intention and infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress. Demand for a jury trial. This guy here, man. He gonna get all these lawsuits till one of these joints click and he catch a lick. So let's see what they got on old King Combs. Plaintiff Grace is a European Caucasian female who worked as a stewardess in the yachting industry since 2018. The plaintiff's love of yachting started at an early age and was the foundation on which she had built her career. Through yachting, the plaintiff has traveled the world, met many new friends and colleagues, and enjoyed a very successful career. Throughout her career, the plaintiff, has always worked well in teams and received high praises and great feedback from her managers and colleagues. The plaintiff also consistently received explanatory reviews from her clients for her excellent customer service, as well as glowing references over the past few years. The plaintiff has consistently received promotions and has never been rejected for any position she applied for. Prior to being sexually assaulted by defendant Christian Cole, allegedly, the plaintiff planned to work the entirety of her career in hospitality and yachting industry. Unfortunately, those plans have been derailed due to the trauma plaintiff continues to have as a result of the assault. Oh, this guy here, man. This guy here, man. This guy here, man. So, first and foremost, I'm not victim shaming at all when I say, my opinion on this. But you're not going to tell me, well, it could be possible, right? But for me, I'm only speaking for me. If yachting was my life, a dream of mine, and I fulfilled it, and I made a career out of it and was making a great living out of it. If I have one bad incident, I don't think I'm giving up working in that line of business for one bad apple. Like, this right here is pouring it on. This is really pouring it on. To say that she'll never deal with the yachting industry again due to whatever is in this lawsuit, I think that's a bit a stretch. Because Michael Jordan could break his leg playing basketball, and I doubt he's going to give up playing basketball because he broke his leg. Not that this is in comparison to that. I'm just saying, like, she gonna give up something that she dedicated her life to because of this incident, whether it's true or false. Defendant Combs, a 25-year-old auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. I can't with this lawyer, nigga. Did he really have to say that, man? Like, come on, bro. Hey, yeah, come on, man. Like, this is too cool, man. Oh my God. Like, the judge need to know about this nigga is a heavily using auto tune. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, cool. Oh, God. Yo, yo, this dude is hilarious, bro. This dude is hilarious. Defendant C. Combs is a 25-year-old auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. Yeah, yeah, and this is a real fucking filing, y'all. I swear to God, this is a real filing. Unfortunately, as the saying has it, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Defendant Sean Combs, who has also been accused of several acts of sexual assault, rape, sexual violence, and drugging, among other deplorable conduct, is the father of the defendant C. Combs, who is seen after his father in the family business of reckless partying, drugging others, sexual assault, sexual violence, and other alleged. Specifically, defendant C. Combs is the second child of the billionaire defendant Sean Combs and his late ex-partner Kim Porter. If y'all don't stop with this billionaire talk. Upon information and belief, defendant Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, California, and Los Angeles, California. Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive, popularly known by stage names Puff Daddy, Puffy, P Diddy, Diddy, Brother Love, or Love. Defendants S. Combs became famous in the early 19. Do I really gotta go through all this shit? Became famous in the early 1990s with his record label Bad Boy Records. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly referred as a hip hop mogul and top hip hop producer in the industry. Upon information and belief, defendant S. Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, California, and Los Angeles County, California. During the relevant period, defendants John and Jane Doe's 1 and 10 are currently unknown individuals and or employees who aided and abetted in the commission of the conduct complaint or hearing and or who either acted with the scope of their employment, defendants ratified, embraced, and added to this conduct. As parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these individuals' employees by name, which means he's gonna keep amending, keep adding as he finds out more. This is why we keep getting more updates from this guy. During the relevant period, defendants ABC Corps 1 to 10 and currently unknown entities who employ plaintiff or aided or embedded in the commission of conduct complaint or herein. As the parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these entities or individuals by name. Why you ain't just get them first and just add them into the lawsuit, bro? Jurisdiction. This court has personal jurisdiction over the defendants under and consistent with the constitutional requirements of due process and that the defendants acting directly or through their agents or apparent agents committed one of the following: the transaction of any business within the state, the making of any contract within the state, the commission of tortious act within the district, and the ownership, use, or possession of any real estate in this state. facts common to all cause of action. And all around July 2022, what's that, like 2 years ago, was working on Victoria's, a super yacht built by Aki Yacht, or Ak Yacht, and owned and operated by Fraser. Plaintiff worked as a temporary second stewardess for the company Equino. Plaintiff worked in a temporary position for a month on Victoria's, then was subsequently offered a permanent position due to her professionalism, passion for the job, and great customer service skills. So she was only working for that company as a temp for a month. And on about September 2022, the plaintiff had been part of a dedicated team at the Monaco Boat Show, tasked with selling charters or Victorias to high net worth clients such as Christian Combs and Charlotte Combs. Christian Combs is not got no goddamn yacht money. In December 2022, plaintiff and her team were advised that the yacht had been successfully chartered for the 2022 holiday period. Plaintiff changed her personal holiday family plans to accommodate the charter service and flew the same line to prepare the yacht for service. Plaintiff soon learned the client who chartered the yacht was defendant Sean Combs and his family. Defendant Sean Combs leased the yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although the plaintiff was used to working in discreet and VIP environments, this one was her first time working with an A-list celebrity. Because of this, the plaintiff and the rest of the team assigned to the yacht were determined to make the holiday special for the defendant's Combs and his family. For the duration of the trip, the plaintiff was assigned the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift along with other crew members. The shift, commonly known as the late shift, was very busy. Late shift duties included dinner and drink service for the clients for the entire 12-hour period. Dinner and drink service had to be carried out within minimal staff support or backup during the night shift, since only 2 individuals were assigned. Although defendant Sean Combs was always typically on the yacht, his sons, Christian Combs and Justin Combs, were staying in a luxury villa nearby and joined their father aboard the yacht most evenings. During the second week of the charter service, there was a significant amount of partying and drug use, which caused the guests to stay up throughout the night. The makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defending Sean Combs and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected sex workers and other A-list celebrities such as French Montana and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Y'all niggas is in trouble. Defending Sean Combs. Oh, my phone died. Sorry, Instagram, I know my phone died. This nigga said Puffy money is his son's money. Oh, so you think they could just go out and buy whatever they want without asking his money? They just got a card where they can just go and do whatever they want without asking his authorization, right? Come on, man. You just in the comments just typing everything and it making no sense. His money is his son's money is his money. Really? Okay. Tell that nigga his one of his sons to go buy you a Lamborghini. Defendant Sean Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. According to the plaintiff, it has resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, sex work, and general chaos. How would they know it's sex work? Like, are they selling Gucci on the yacht? Like, how would this girl know that these people on the yacht that's partying are sex workers? It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink service until 6 a.m. They do fucking serve drinks and food from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. They said that. That was their shift. 12 hours, 6 to 6. So why is it somebody demanding drink service up until 6 a.m.? They can add an action to 6 a.m. Yes, come on, man. Yo, this lawyer, he's tripping, bro, with some of it. I ain't saying this girl ain't no victim, ain't nothing happened, but some of this is he doing it like he doing it for TV. It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink service until 6 a.m. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected sex workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht, and it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol were laced with drugs and which bottles were not. Ah? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You got two workers doing a 12-hour shift. Their job is to provide drinks and food and wait on the people on the yacht. Are you saying it's hard for them to differentiate which bottles were laced with drugs and not, and they are the ones providing the drinks and opening the bottles? So they stock up the goddamn yacht. They pouring the drinks, fixing the drinks, and they know these people are sex workers, and these these bottles is laced with drugs. And did they see them put drugs in these bottles? I'm confused, bro. It is important to know that as a bartender, the plaintiff understands the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, the plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of De Leon tequila or one mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking or passing out. This led the plaintiff to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women were likely laced with drugs. And all these women on this yacht that was partying was getting laced, like passing out everything. And none of these women called police. I think these niggas is over here watching YouTube and putting lawsuits together. Listening to niggas saying how they was lacing the bottles with lacing drugs with or lacing the juice and lacing the bottles and this and like, come on, bro. How is she the bartender fixing the fucking drinks? And then talking about she thinks the drinks are spiked. And she's fixing the drinks. The plaintiff was aware that Rodney Jones, a producer who was employed to work on a Love album off the grid, was required to be on standby for musical recordings often late into the night. How would she know that? The Love album off the grid is the fifth studio album by American rapper and recording producer Sean Diddy Combs, released on September 5th, 2023. Mr. Jones was accepted as an extended member of the service staff and spent time with the plaintiff at the service bar and piano, where he played the piano. On or about the early morning of December 28, 2022, the evening shift started as known as about 5 a.m. The evening shift started. I thought they said the evening shift was from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay. The evening shift started as normal. Oh, okay, I get it. At about 5 a.m., the plaintiff was messaged on the on-duty phone that the defendant, Christian Combs, would be joining the yacht by tender, a smaller craft that runs back and forth from a larger yacht and used for servicing, providing support and entertainment to a private or charter yacht. Defendant Christian Combs wanted to be brought over to Victoria's to record in the yacht's makeshift recording studio with Mr. Jones. Although it was not unheard of for defendant Christian Combs to come on aboard at such a late hour, he usually stayed at his dwelling offshore overnight, particularly when there was no party on board on any given night. Defendant Christian Combs arrived in the tender and was heavily intoxicated. The plaintiff suspects Christian Combs was intoxicated from a mixture of narcotics and alcohol. Upon entering the recording studio, Christian Combs immediately started ordering that tequila shots be poured from a bottle of alcohol he may have brought onto the yacht. He may have brought onto the yacht. Oh, I don't know about this lawyer, bro. It's either he brought the tequila, or she is the one that has the tequila. She's the bartender. Ironically, defendant Christian Combs was playing Cassie's Me and You, was playing in the background. Cassie was an artist under Sean Combs and was his former love interest, who also accused Sean Combs of serious sexual and mental abuse. In the studio, defendant Christian Combs asked the plaintiff shots to the recording studio Sunday, and plaintiff obliged as she was the only service stewardess at the time. The plaintiff noticed immediately that he was particularly attentive with her, which she considered very inappropriate. However, the plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila he may have brought on the boat, brought on board the yacht. Under pressure and wanting to be polite. Come on. She gonna need to tell that nigga no I'm working. How are you under pressure? unless they got you cornered in the wall, like you better drink this. But yeah, I'm not victim shaming. I'm just gonna say just under pressure and wanting to be polite. The plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed. Why would you oblige if you just seen all these people passing out from drinking that you think was suspicious that they passing out like it was like listening, watching a white horror movie, and then the white girl just running, just the nigga coming behind with the axe, and she just keep falling on the floor. They just keep tripping and falling, and she looking back, run, not looking where she looking, ding, running to a tree, and he just getting closer and closer and closer, and just whack, 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 whack. You gotta trust your intuition. Okay, however, the plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila that he may have brought him more the under pressure and wanting to be polite. The plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed defendant Sean Combs create a Black Santa video which showed him demanding the captain. Various heads of department and crew take a shot of tequila with him. Oh my God, yo. As this was a pattern established by the captain of the yacht and the defendant Sean Combs, the plaintiff felt comfortable knowing that Mr. Jones was present and didn't think anything more of it. She felt that she would take one shot and he would let her return to the pantry. According to the plaintiff, at this point the mood changed and things became sinister. Defendant Christian Combs insisted that the plaintiff stayed chatting and that she sit beside him. The plaintiff resisted and remained polite, asking to leave. Defendant Christian Combs became aggressive and insisted that the plaintiff take a further shot and sit beside him, drinking. At this point, the defendant Combs violently grabbed the plaintiff's arm, began hurting her. He pulled the plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. The plaintiff insisted that she had returned to the pantry, but her plea, the plaintiff insisted that she had to return to the pantry, but her plea fell on deaf ears. Angered, defendant Christian Combs forced the plaintiff to take another shot. The plaintiff was quite scared and realized she was in a very dangerous situation. The plaintiff was also fearing the effect of the tequila shots and quickly suspected that the tequila was spiked. At this point, the situation escalated, and the plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by defendant Combs. He touched the plaintiff's legs, her breast, her anus, her vagina. He also tried to kiss her and proceeded to kiss her neck, her face, her hands. The timeline at this point is very blurry and vague to the plaintiff, as she does not recall exactly what happened to her due to the effects of the spiked tequila shots. Luckily for plaintiff, due to the defendant's Sean Combs' insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has an audio recording of the defendant Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting the plaintiff. This dude, Rodney Jones, was just a straight up plant. That nigga was a straight up plant. Somebody said to him, and to find whatever dirt they can on Puff, in either case. So like, why is this dude recording everything? Right? Okay. Mr. Jones has an audio recording of the defendant Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting the plaintiff. Below is a transcript of defendant Christian Combs forcing the plaintiff to consume the suspected late shots of DeLeon to kill. Defendant Christian Combs, yo, they shot a clock. The plaintiff, no, I'm not doing shots, Christian. Everybody, you gotta take a shot. Audio 2. I'll just put the ledge. Christian Combs, no. Take the whole thing. No. You will take it as well? Take the whole shot. I'm only doing it as long as you take it as well. Christian Combs, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not taking nothing. Please, take the shot. You are drugging me. Take the shot. Hey, yo, play another beat one time because now, below is the treasure of defendant Combs, sexual assault of plaintiff. Cassie, Me and You feature P. Diddy and Young Doc is playing in the background. You said what? I can't. I'm swapping out. I can't do it. Darling. Nah, we need you. I'm going to stop. Stop. I have to go. Honestly, I'm like already losing sleep. I have to go now. You're the best one on the shit though. What do you mean? Who's going to replace you? Who's going to replace me? Man, fuck that. That's going to be trash, though. That's going to be trash, though. You feel me? Excuse me? You don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Listen, you and everybody in the crew is great. This shit ain't making no sense, this conversation. Fuck that. That's going to be trash, though. You feel me? Is he talking to the fucking producer at this time? Excuse me. You don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Christian Combs, listen. You and everybody in the crew is great. Huh? I can't. I have to go down. No. Yo, tell me. Listen. What? Like, say you're just vibing with me the whole time. I can't. I promise you. I wish I could, but I can't. Unless I say that you guys requested me. Yes. Who can I talk to right now? Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now. Well, you can't take your hand off my ass for the first thing. This little raw nigga was a plant. According to the plaintiff, she said she would have to be requested because she knew anyone of authority who would approve the request was asleep. Defendant Christian Combs would not have been able to contact them, and the plaintiff could then leave. After being assaulted in the recording studio, the plaintiff attempted to resume her duties that night. She made her way to the pantry where she met another steward who was assigned to take over the shift. Her colleague recognized that the plaintiff was visibly intoxicated and shocked and trying to finish the shift. After the nigga just put his hands on her and all that, she wouldn't stay working. Shortly after returning to the pantry, Christian Combs called for the plaintiff. He went looking for her and demanding that she find him a place to sleep on the yacht. At such a late hour of the night, there were no spare cabins for Christian Combs to stay in. Despite this, he refused to go back to shore. The most acceptable place for him to sleep that night was in the cinema. The plaintiff directed him to the cinema, which was commonly used as an extra sleeping area. The cinema has one door to exit and enter. The plaintiff entered the room, and the defendant Combs blocked her from exiting. The plaintiff retreated to a corner of the room, and the defendant Combs became physically and extremely aggressive. He cornered the plaintiff and started to grope her. The plaintiff pushed him back constantly. Christian Combs then took off all his clothes. His penis was erect, and he grabbed her arm and was trying to force the plaintiff to perform oral copulation on him. The plaintiff began fighting Christian Combs, and not long after, her partner on board entered the cinema. This started Christian Combs, and the plaintiff was finally able to leave. The plaintiff's partner became concerned and went looking for the plaintiff after she had not returned to her room after her shift had ended. The morning after, the plaintiff complained to yacht's captain, Captain Peter Milkoff. Captain Milkoff berated the plaintiff. What? He lacked compassion or concern, failed to investigate, and insisted that the plaintiff was probably voluntarily partying with the guests. She was not. The captain McCall added insult to injury by assigning the plaintiff to work in front of the house, which required personally servicing Christian Combs while they were on the yacht. The plaintiff was not provided an option to be isolated or not to serve the defendant Christian Combs. The plaintiff was 25 years old at the time of the attack. Based on information and belief, Sean Combs' employees included his drug mule, Brendan Paul, his chief of staff, Christina Caron, and his second in line, Frankie Santella, learned of what occurred and informed Sean Combs. Shortly after, Captain McCall received a generous tip from Sean Combs in order to keep Captain McCall quiet and keep him from protecting the plaintiff or of taking action on her behalf. Only a few members of the ship's staff were required to write statements. The plaintiff and her partner were the only two staff members not interviewed and not asked to write a statement. What? So they interviewed everybody on the motherfucking boat about this incident, except for the girl that it happened to, and the person that walked in on it, and that's the witness. Below are images of the plaintiff's bruises because of defendant Christian Combs violently grabbing her and attempting to force her. Attempting to perform oral sex on her. According to the plaintiff, the past year, 2023, has been the most deeply traumatizing time of her life. Christian Combs' sexual assault, and the subsequent cover-up orchestrated by Sean Combs and his staff The plaintiff was isolated and retaliated against on the yacht. Yeah, man.
So finish this video, go to Choke No Joke.
I don't know.
Peace out.
Why she herself